he don't need no introduction. Brother Sears, did I say that right? Okay. He don't need no introduction. If you have a TV in your house, as my mama would say, you liable to be able to find him anytime, any day on some show somewhere. Born in Welch, West Virginia. Born in Welch, West Virginia. Mom and Daddy went to Cleveland, Ohio, so Ohio, your man is back in the state. Back in the state. Brother Grant Knox and Brother Grant Marion had a vision to bring Brother Rashawn McDonald and Brother Steve Harvey to Cincinnati, Ohio. And it's our job to carry out what our leaders need us to carry out. Brother Harvey made some changes to come and participate, and we're so excited that he did. It's very important that we have him with us. Not only is he a friend, but he's a fraternity brother. And he's going to speak about principles in business and life in terms of how to be successful. And if anybody can tell you how to be successful, Steve Harvey can. Without further ado, our friend and our fraternity brother, Brother Steve Harvey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brothers. Thank you, brothers. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next time y'all have me here, I got to be brought in by him. Don't you bring me here no more, and I don't get brought in by him. I wants that. I had a lamp around my neck. I wants that. First of all, let me say something from the bottom of my heart. I am honored. I am honored that you would think enough of me to have me come and share my time with you. I'm honored, I really am. A lot gets said about you, and until you really sit and meet a person, you never really know a person. You can read about me. Everything ain't true. Some of it's good. I really am a humble person, I really am. Now, before I start anything I got to say, I have to say this first. No matter what you hear me say, no matter how I tell my story, no matter what piece of information I lay out in front of you, please tag that with "cause of God." You got to understand that about me. Look, sometimes when I'm talking and I'm sharing, it sounds like I'm talking about myself. But behind every sentence, I want you to say, "cause of God," because I get it. This Brother Ricky Lewis, who is a dear friend of mine, probably one of the most dedicated Qs I've ever met in my life, really. When he presented the idea to me, I got to do a lot to move. I'm pretty busy. But when you hear a person introduce you with no introduction necessary, it's because I've accomplished so much. But it's cause of God, though. Look, my life is covered with grace and favor. I'm not a pastor by any stretch of the imagination. I got enough flaws to negate that statement off the top. But my life is favor. Bishop Jakes told me one time, when you got favor on your life, no matter what you're thrown into, you're going to always rise to the top. I have been thrown into a lot, but because of favor and grace, I just keep showing up somehow, man, no matter what they do. And so all of this that I have is really because of the grace of God. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You got to have a tremendous work ethic to be successful in here. In other words, and you can relate to this, you got to have a lot of dog in you. You really do, man, if you want to be successful, because it's going to be a lot of trying times. So you have to have a tremendous work ethic. But you got to have faith. Faith without works is dead. You hear it all the time. You go to church and you learn all these scriptures, but then you don't apply none of them to your life. You're looking at a man who has made the simple application of 3 or 4 scriptures and maxed them out to get here. I maxed out 3, 4 scriptures to get here. I kid you not. I'll share them with you if you want to hear about them, but I maxed out 3, 4 scriptures to get here. I'd love to tell you I'm the funniest person ever lived, but I ain't. Richard Pryor got that. I'd love to tell you I'm the greatest entertainer, but I ain't. Michael Jackson was that. I got all that, but they gone. So I probably am. But listen, man, this that I'm about to share with you, and I understand I'll only be doing this for a little bit, and then we're going to open up the floor for questions. And I like doing Q&As because it helps me target specifically what a person is hoping to hear. But I got to tell you something. If you could get a couple of things from me, if you could gather this piece of information. Albert Einstein said once, he said, imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. Now, I want you to get this now. Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. Because if you think about it, everything you have, everything we have in this world, somebody imagined it. It's your imagination is tremendous. Somebody was sitting on the phone one day talking with a cord to the wall and said, man, I wish I could just go outside with this phone. Everybody in here got a cell phone. Somebody imagined that. Somebody got tired of riding in a wagon cross country from slavery to freedom. Somebody said, I wish we had something that made these wheels move by themselves. We drive cars. People got tired of driving from New York to LA. Somebody said, I wish we could fly. We got airplanes. Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. Your real life, the one God really got for you, is in your imagination. It is not in your current situation or your current paycheck. And if you've been living like that, you have then restricted yourself to a commonality that is really not yours. Because what really God got for you is really in your imagination. Now, since there's a lot of church folk in here, let me tie that to a scripture. Because this is when you really start affecting black folk. See, y'all don't really bleed nothing till you tie it to some type of church thing. So let's just go on and do that. And once again, before I start this, I am not a pastor or a preacher. And I can talk for a very small amount of time without cussing. So it's really, I know about the time limit. I'm going to try to end my speech before I hit that point because I want to stay dignified because this is about the men of Omega. So I'm going to stay dignified. There is a scripture that Albert Einstein took this quote from. It's like the book The Secret. The Secret is one of the top-selling motivational books ever. But if you read the book The Secret, it's all biblical. Everything comes from the Bible. You really don't need self-help books. You don't need the magic of thinking big, the power of positive thinking, how to win friends and influence people, Think and Grow Rich, the Winner's Circle. I've read them all. All of that information is in Proverbs, all of it. But let me give you this scripture. You've all heard this, right? Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So when I told you a minute ago, you got to have a tremendous work ethic, but you got to have a lot of faith. I talk to so many people who get older, like some of us are, and they've lost their faith. Well, faith is really simple. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. All that means is in the beginning, you just hope something pop off. You know, you just kind of hope something happened for you. I was hoping I would get on TV. I wrote it on a piece of paper when I was 10. I want to be on TV. The problem I had when I wrote it at 10 was I suffered from a severe stuttering problem. I could not talk outside of my house. So can you imagine when I wrote on a piece of paper, I want to be on TV and turned that in? The first thing the little boy next to me asked me, he 10, well, how long is your TV show going to be? Because you You're going to be on TV all day. But when I wrote it on the paper, it wasn't factual. I was just hoping. You just got to start with the hope. Faith is the substance of things that you hope for. You just hope something jump. Then what happened is through grace and favor, he give you a couple of them things you hope for, and then you're supposed to start believing then. Because now it turns into faith. But if you take this scripture, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. What is the evidence of things not seen? I just told it to you. Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attraction. But guess what? Your imagination really is. It's the evidence of things not seen. Because your imagination, you know why it's the evidence of things not seen? Because you're the only one can see it. Your imagination is actually God showing you a preview of a coming attraction that he has for you. The moment you don't believe in your imagination, you negate what he got for you. Your imagination is the preview to life's coming attraction. It is the evidence of things not seen, because can't nobody see it with you. Your problem is you keep telling your imagination to the wrong people. See, if you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. It's dead. How many times, man, have you had a tremendous idea, something you thought was the one, and you went and told it to your loved ones and your so-called friends, and they shot it down? I mean, you was convinced that it was just, oh man, I just came to you. And you told it to them and they shot it down. And you thought since they was your loved ones and their friends and they got your best interests at heart, you believed them. You was wrong. You let them talk you out of what God got for you. Some of y'all still sitting here with the ambition of opening a business one day, but you scared to go start the business because you got a job and you got bills. Rich people got bills. Everybody got bills. Hell, I got bills. Everybody owes somebody something. I got something with the bank right now. You're going to let the fact that you got some bills stop you from opening the business, the thing that God done put in your imagination? So you're going to squash that because you got bills. Everybody got bills. Your real life is in your imagination. Can you grab what I'm telling you? So I don't know what you thought I was going to say to you. I'm just a real dude. I don't even have the education you all have. I flunked out of school. I ain't got no education. I don't use 4-syllable words. The only 4-syllable word I know is my bank account. That's it. What I'm sharing with you is stuff that everybody can apply today. If you are sitting in here thinking that you're too old to listen to what Steve, hell, I'm 60. I'm 60 years old. I know. You can't believe it. I know. He's so fly. I know. But I'm 60. But I still rely on my imagination. See, if you think you're too old to make it, let me give you a prime example. Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders has been frying chicken his whole life. He was telling everybody he had the best chicken in the world. Ain't nobody believe him. They turned him down everywhere. Colonel Sanders didn't get a franchise till he was in his 60s. Kentucky Fried Chicken sell more chicken than anybody in the world today. So if you're sitting there thinking because you got a little gray on you, and you too late, as long as God waking you up in the morning, that's the sign that he ain't through with you. So what you tripping for? You sitting up in here like God can't do nothing for you because you 60. Man, you know what I'm asking God for right now? And I'm 60. If you could see my vision board, you would be blown away. Because I got enough right now. I really know. But I ain't in the need business. I'm in the want business. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting something. Quit going down to these churches y'all sitting up in here going down to, keeping you in these little boxes. God got a big life for you. The only person ain't get, look, and I love church. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking church. Don't tweet that. Steve don't care for the church no more. I didn't say that. But don't go down there, memorize all these scriptures, and then don't apply none of them to your life. That's what I'm talking about. Quit going down there just to go and just get a couple of scriptures and apply them to you. Let me give you one that's real simple. See, these principles of success, they've taken all of these scriptures and they putting them in books, and they call them, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. But everything in there is a scripture. They just reworded it because people don't know how to read the Bible. Like, I can't really read the King James Version. I can't. 4 verses of that, I go to sleep. Because hence, furthermore, whatsoever, whosoever. Who is you talking about? I need a name, dog. Not whomsoever, because I'm thrown off. I didn't do good with reading and comprehension in school. The smallest scripture I ever read changed my life. The scripture is real simple. You have not because you ask not. Do you know the difference that could make in your life? I'm just giving you real talk now. I'm just trying to tell you how I got here. See, I have no education. I applaud all of you with your education. I've seen them talk to so many men who have in corporate America and all. I'm in awe of that because I don't have that. But you sit here and you take what you have, and it could be so much more if you would ask. See, you have not because you ask not. When the last time you really asked him for something? Or do you keep making requests that's inside the confines of your paycheck? When you gonna get outside of that? Didn't I just tell you God ain't in your paycheck? Didn't I just tell you he ain't in your job title? The life God got for you is in your imagination. Why you still imagining stuff? Why you keep dreaming of a summer home? Why you keep dreaming of retirement, leaving your grandkids money? So I'm at the age now where I think about my grandkids. I got 7 TV shows. Dog, I only need one. One show pay me enough money. I need 4 for my wife. 4 of them is for Marjorie. The other 3 is for the grandkids. I just need one. I do not live my life in the confines of what anybody says to me. I let my imagination go, and now imagination is a preview to life's coming attraction. But what that really means is God showing you a preview of what he has for you. So now, if you have not because you ask not, do you understand if you up your ask, he has to up his give? This period. This is simple stuff that anybody can apply. You ain't even got to have no degree to do this. You don't even have to have no money to do this. You can start this today and change your whole game because you're going to need grace and favor anyway. Now, I ain't no preacher, but people kill me when they ask me. I was talking to a group of white reporters the other day. They kept asking me, how did I make it? And I kept talking about grace and favor. And they kept asking me, who is your agent? I don't know, who? Y'all, why you skipping over what I'm trying to tell you? You need the dream, the faith, and then he put his grace and favor on top of it. You gone. But you got to ask for something. If you up your ask, he got to up his give, period. You have not because you ask not. Quit asking God for little bitty stuff. Lord Jesus, help me make my rent. Don't he always? All y'all got somewhere to stay. How about this? Why you keep asking for rent? Why don't you ask for a mortgage? If he gonna give you the money for a place to stay, what difference do it make to God? But if you keep saying rent, ain't he fair? He keep giving you rent. If you ask for a mortgage, he'll give you a mortgage. But you have not because you ask not. Lord Jesus, help me fix my car so I can make it to work. Why do you keep praying over that raggedy car? Why don't you ask God for a car that don't need fixing? You know, they roll them off the assembly line every day. How you can't get a new car? How you serve God? How you go to church and you can't get a car? Just a new car. How you can't get that from God? You know why? Because you ain't asking him. You keep asking him for stuff that fit in your paycheck. Your paycheck say a 2015 Lexus, so you go down there and ask him for that. And guess what you get? A 2015 Lexus. You up your ask, he up his give. You have not because you ask not. This ain't a magic trick, man. I get tired of rich people talking to people and they make you buy these programs and stuff so they can drag you out for 8 years. You can get the program. Hell, I sell them. Did I just say that? Can't believe I said that. Listen, I have asked God for some tremendous stuff. Everything he hasn't given to me is on the way. I have no doubt about it. Why would he not? See, can I tell you what really prompted this thinking in me? When I was homeless, I lived in a car for 3 years. I made some decisions in my life, man, and threw myself off a cliff. My decision in October 8th, 1985, I walked into a comedy club for the first time on a dare from a girl. Jesus. I walked into a comedy club for the first time. Had never heard of a comedy club. But all my life, I wanted to be on TV. Had never heard of a comedy club. October the 8th, I walked into Hilarity's Comedy Club in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. That's right outside Akron. I signed up for the following week because I just wanted to see what the comedians did. Man, I saw live stand-up for the first time. They had 10 acts supposed to go up. 9 of them went up. The 10th guy got scared and ran out the door. So I had signed up for the following week. The guy says, listen, we lost our 10th act. We're going to go to the phones. We're going to go to the week from next week. If Steve Harvey's here, come on up now. And the crowd started clapping. I was eating a chicken wing and drinking some grapefruit juice, and I turned to the girl, and I said, it's a dude in here, got the same name I got. She said, you the stupidest bastard I know. All right, I'm getting close to that. It's that time limit. I was hanging in there, Grand. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Grand. How long was I up here for? Did I get 20 in? Amen. Usually around 15, 20. So I ran up on stage. I don't even know what to do, but I just started talking about boxing and stuff that happened to me. Audience was hollering, laughing. They brought all 10 of us back up on stage. They had a clap off. I won the clap off. I won $50. I cried from Cuyahoga Falls to Cleveland. The girl kept saying, why you crying? It ain't but $50. I said, no, you don't understand. This way more than 50. This what I do. She said, what you mean this what you do? This just your first time. You don't understand. Something happened to me. I won amateur night. I went to work the next day, October 9th, 1985, and quit my job. You've all seen this book I got out in this video called Jump. Oh, I jumped. Now, I don't recommend that you do it that way. because 2 years later I was homeless. Because the first year of comedy I made $3,400. The next year I made $4,800, and the third year I made $5,300. I got a wife, a set of twins. I'm sending every dollar I got to them. So I tried to live on $50, $75 a week. Gas was 38 cents a gallon back then. I just stayed in my car. So I lived in my car for 3 years. 3 years I lived in my car. And what happened was, I just said, man, so I used to fish all the time to eat, because I'm a fisherman, I'm a bass fisherman. So I used to stop at lakes and ponds and just fish. And every night, every month, I get run off from somebody's land. Hey, get away from here. Hey, move along, that's not yours. Hey, stop fishing here. I just get run off. And he didn't understand. And one time I had fish on the line. They said, you got fish on that line? I said, yeah, throw them back. I had to throw them back because I used to stop at rest areas with them little cast iron grills. I kept charcoal in my car. I started a fire and I eat fish. There's some days I wouldn't eat. So that they thought I was just fishing, but I was eating. So I said one day, I said, man, you know what? One day, man, I'm gonna get myself some land. I'm buy myself a piece of dirt. So fast forward, God bless me. I get on TV when I'm 38. I'm on Showtime at the Apollo. Lord, have mercy. They gave me my money. I saved my money up. I saved $250,000. I said, I'm going to give me some land. I went to Texas, and I'm about to buy some land. But before I went to buy the land, I was curious. I just had the thought. I said, man, I wonder how much land is on earth? How many acres is on earth? Because you know it's not going to change. You know, God lets you fly. God lets you dive on the water. God don't let you make dirt. Can't make dirt. So I looked it up. It's roughly over, just a little bit over, 36 billion acres of land. 36 billion acres of land. So I just got a little bit more curious, and I said, well, how many people on earth? I looked it up, and there's about 6 billion people on earth. So I did some Steve Harvey thinking. I said, okay, if it's 36 billion acres of land, and it's about 6 billion people on earth, everybody ought to have 6 acres of land. Not just me, you know, just thinking. So I asked God, could I have 6 acres? That's all I wanted. Because you know the one thing I wanted? I didn't care if I put a house on it or nothing. I just wanted to be a stand somewhere and couldn't nobody run me off. I just wanted. You know, man, I was in a world of hurt. I was so sick of just getting run off, man, every time I stopped somewhere. So I got this money, man. I saved my money. I saved $250,000. I'm going and I'm looking for some land. The first day I get there, I see a piece of land in Texas, so beautiful, I couldn't believe it. It had rolling hills, had a pond on it where I could fish. The dude took me over there. I look at the land, and I'm looking out. I said, man, this is great right here. I said, sir, how much is this right here? He said, well, it's about $600,000. I said, man, I ain't got that kind of money. He said, well, how much do you have? I said, I got $250,000. I said, well, let me think about it, man. He said, let me think about it. And I was standing there, and then I stopped. I said, sir, can I ask you a question, man? How many acres of land is that? He said, this is 6 acres. Six years ago, I just asked God, just give me 6. See, I didn't want a whole lot of acres. I just wanted my cut. Just give me my 6. And so I said, ain't this crazy? So I thought about it. I said, man, what can we work out? Right before I got ready to say it, the guy that took me over there said, Steve, let me show you something right quick. He took me over to this hillbilly's house. Took me over to this hillbilly house named Jerry Campbell. Now, I don't really care for hillbillies because, we don't, I just, when your voice, I believe and I don't let, when I hear that, me and you probably ain't going to work out. I'm from Cleveland. I do things. I don't want no trouble. I met this hillbilly. I was a little nervous about meeting him, man, because I didn't like the way he talked, but mess around turned out to be one of the finest men I ever met in my life. Became a father figure to me. It's an old white man. He took me to his house. He said, let me show you something. He took me over and showed me this land, and it was massive. It had 3 lakes on it. It had rolling hills. It had trees. It was unbelievable, man. I said, man, this is incredible. I said, man, how much is this? He said, this 16 acres. I said, hey, man, I ain't got that kind of money. Let me go on back over here to this dude where Mike can cut a deal. He said, well, let me ask you something. What was you going to give that man over there? I said, well, I hadn't worked it out yet because all I got is $250,000. He said, well, listen, I'm in a little bit of a tight right now. Said, if you can bring me $250,000 cash by tomorrow, I'll give you this 16 acres. I showed up next day, $250,000, 16 acres. See, that's grace and favor right there. That's what that is. So my first piece of land was 250 acres. So I said, man, this is the land that I'm going to save for my family. I'm going to fish on the rest of my life. I'm going to be an old man. So then I got to thinking, I said, hold up, man. You mean you have not because you ask now? I asked for 6 years ago. He showed me 6, but he gave me 16. So I went to God. I said, God, listen to this. I'm from Cleveland. I got a couple partners that's locked up. They probably won't be using they 6. So I said, Lord, could I have a 6? And he said, yeah. So every time acres came up available around that 16, I bought it. And I bought 6 more. And then I went back and I said, well, Lord, all my friends ain't locked up, but some of them just ain't, they just ain't nothing. They don't want nothing. They ain't trying. Could I have a 6? So he gave me they 6. And so then I was doing a show one time on HBO, a friend of mine. He's an atheist. He don't believe in God, but he got a late night show. And he asked me to do the show, and I thought I was going to be on there telling jokes. But come to find out, he was doing a show on atheism. And I turned him down. I said, I don't want to talk. He said, man, why don't you come and talk? You're a man of faith. I said, well, I don't like arguing with people who don't believe in God. You don't believe in God, I think you a fool, and I'm pretty sure since I believe in God, you think I'm a fool, and I don't think 2 fools ought to be standing around talking. Let's just end that. He said, man, come on and do the show. So we did the show. I hated it, but after the show, I counted all them atheists, and it was 6 of them. So I asked God, could I have a 6? Because I know good and well they ain't going to ask him for nothing. Cool. So he gave me they 6. Next thing you know, I had 270 acres of land. Now let me tell you something. I'm so busy now, I don't even get to go to that ranch. I never can go. And I thought I was going to be fishing and save it for my kids' rest of life. But God had another plan for me. That's the ranch that I have my mentoring camp on. I bring 1,000 black boys out there with 1,000 single mothers. And that was the purpose of that ranch. I never go there to fish at all. But see, that's what I wanted. I thought that's what it was for. But God got another plan. His way is way bigger than yours. You can't even see his way. But you got to start to hustle. You got to give God something to work with. Look, if you start hustling and grinding, he'll fill it up for you. But if you ain't got no hustle and no grind, he can't fill it up. So guess what? I don't ever go there to use that land for fishing or not. But I'm changing boys' lives over there. But on top of all that, you know how many houses he done gave me? This, I'm telling you about God. Remember what I told you when I first started? Every statement I sound, when it sounds like I'm talking about myself, remember I said, say, cause of God. You know how many houses I got now? They count them up. 6 to a bruh, 6, 12. No, I ain't got that many houses. But the point I'm making to y'all is, you have not because you ask not. See, I'm giving you stuff you could do. You can talk to people all day. They got video out right now. You can go online, $39.95, how to buy a house with no money down. If you're stupid enough, think you can go buy a house with no money down, go ahead. You might can get it with no money down, but at closing, see, my story is really a story about faith. Really is, man. I come out the dirt. I have no college degree. All of my children do. I got 7 kids. I sent every last one of them to college. I got 3 boys. 2 boys come out of Morehouse. I got a daughter that come out of Spelman in Berkeley. I got 2 daughters went to Hampton, and then graduated from Ohio State. I made sure all my kids went to college because I know they got to have that education. Well, Daddy, you didn't go to college. Well, your ass ain't got no jokes. I slipped again, I'm sorry. That came, I ain't even know that got out there. I threw that one out there and I felt pretty good. I said, why is they laughing like that? It's been important for me to empower my children, but not only my children, but thousands of young people across the country. And education is the key for a lot of people. But when I speak at colleges and stuff, I tell people, number one thing in your world is not your education. It's your dream. So what you dreaming about, y'all? What you still dreaming about? What is God still showing you in your imagination? What are you so afraid of? Why would you not take that leap and go for it before you mess around and die? Why would you not go and see what God really got for you before you leave this world? Why would you hang on to a job? Uh-oh. Here's what happens with the job. If you live in paycheck to paycheck right now, when you retire, they're going to give you 1/3 of what you can't live on now. They're going to give you a gold watch and a turkey, and they're going to set you on out to pasture. If I was you, before I leave this world, I'd go see what God really got for me. Just take a chance. Now, here's why you should take the chance. Name me one time God has not pulled you through. Just name it. Name the one thing God has never pulled you through. If he ain't pulled you through it, he's currently pulling you through it right now. And the reason I know I'm telling the truth is because you're sitting in here. If God was through with you, he wouldn't wake you up no more. When he wakes you up is because he ain't through with you yet. He got something else for you. So why don't you go see what that is? Look, it's mostly black people in here. Why we keep living our lives like we still slaves? Why we got to live our lives like we owe them something? Man, you owe yourself something. Go be free. Go see what God got for you. Oh, Steve, that's easy for you to say. You rich. Hell, did you hear me? I lived in a car for 3 years. On October 8th, I won $50. October 9th, I quit. How big a jump you want to take? You ain't even got to do that. A lot of y'all got savings. You may not have 3 years up, but you only need a little bit. Just jump. Go see what God got for you. Quit sitting here in your life posturing like it's okay. Quit funking the fake. Quit faking the funk. Quit Quit got people thinking you something you ain't, man, when you really know you won't be something else. Can I just say that to a room full of black people? Dog, I get tired. I was speaking at Villanova last year. I had to stand up and pull myself together. Man, I couldn't wait to come here. I couldn't wait to come here so I could just be my natural black self. I just get tired. You know, look, I'm a host of Little Big Shots and Kids and Family Feud. I got a talk show. Let me tell you something, dog. I got 6 TV shows on the air right now, and all 6 of them is #1 in their time slot because of God. Now, with that said, do you know how I have to be the majority of my life? Something for somebody else. This is the first room I've been in where I ain't got to be that. You know, I talk just like this here. I don't have no big words. I'm just telling you just like it is. You ain't got to believe me, but you can look at me. I'm telling you, it's proof in this here now that the God you serve really will give you what you ask for. He will. I'm not your preacher. I'm a hood dude that done messed around with no education, the mess around got to the top of the TV world, balling out of control. And I'm telling you, I was homeless and lived in a car, and I ain't got no education. Now, y'all in here got degrees. I see it on your forehead. Yes. I can tell by the way you're listening to me. You know how to listen. You know. Oh, my God, this Negro's humorous. I see it on you. I feel when I'm around educated people. I know you know how to study it and math. I can look at you, and I'm so proud of you. But hey, man, the next level. Go make yourself some money. You ain't got to make $1 million, but 300,000, nice. 300,000, nice, dog. See, the reason I know how to talk like this, I've been at every economic level there is. Because my father was rough, man. Let me tell you a story. I was in college. My father didn't help me. I got in real bad trouble one time. I called home and said, Dad, I need some money. All right. So 4 days later, in the mail, an envelope came. It had 2 index cards so you couldn't see the money. When I opened it up, it had a note on the index card, and it was a $5 bill in there. I pulled it out, saw the $5. The note said, this shit gonna have to stop. That's 4 times. But that's what the note said, though. You would lose effect if I did not read you what my daddy wrote me. And my daddy dead, so I think that's a free one. You'll just let me have. Hey, that's how my father was. I'm going to support you, but just enough to keep you from dying. This is enough to buy a sandwich and some water so you can live on to the next crisis. So I've been at every economic level. I know what it's like to make $3,000 a year. So when I tell you what 300 feel like, see, and enjoy the ride along the way. Quit waiting until you're a millionaire to celebrate. There's joy in the journey. Listen to me. If you was making $50,000 and you now make $100,000, there should be a mini celebration in your life. When you go from $100,000 to $250,000, that should be another mini celebration in your life. You got to buy some stuff to reward you along the way. There's joy in the journey. You don't have to wait till you're a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire. I really do. Because there's 3 black billionaires. Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, and Robert Smith. I didn't research it. You know, I researched because that's where I want to go. Well, Steve, why you want to have $1 billion? Because they printing the money. There's joy where I'm at right now. Oh, please understand I'm cool. But if I could get $1 billion, though. See, Brother Blue has traveled with me up to Washington, D.C. to Dr. Ben Carson at HUD. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Jesus. I done had some things happen to me, man. President Obama's transition team. I was getting off a plane one day. Assistant called and said, Steve, it's President Obama's transition team. President Obama and I were friends. I've interviewed him. He's been on my talk show. I've been to the White House and interviewed him. He's been on my radio show more than anybody's show. I go to their parties. We friends. So his transition team called me around the 9th of January and said, Steve, the president feels like it's important that we sit down and have a conversation with this new administration to see if there's something we can work out. Not President Obama, just his transition team from the White House. I said, okay, cool. Next thing I know, the Trump administration transition team gets in touch with the Obama transition team. My name come up. So on January 13th, they asked me to come to Trump Towers to meet with Donald Trump. Now, the hell I caught the sheer misery for making that decision. I've been so many coons, Uncle Tom, sellouts. I was stunned. I mean, the brutality of what happened to me on social media behind visiting that man in Trump Towers, it was alarming. But I'm sitting up in here and I'm trying to figure out, because you don't know, so since you don't know, here come the hate. Uncle Tom, sellout, Coon, Steve Harvey, shoe shiner, celebrity friends I thought I was really cool with, coming out talking about he ought to know better. What the hell wrong with him? Whoa, 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 whoa. If President Obama, the current president, and the incoming president say they want to talk to you, which one of you ain't going up there? Just raise your hand if you wouldn't go, so I can see how stupid you are. Now just go ahead. I just want to see. This is what I be really wanting to say. See, I can't say none of this in front of another group, but since it's us in here, oh, I've been wanting to say this since January 13th. You better believe this right here. I've been waiting on the right crowd. Well, I'm in front of a bunch of friends right now. So see, I can say this because I'm around a bunch of friends. You understand? Friendship is essential to the soul. You can live without your father. You can live without a relative. You can make it without your mama. You can't live in this world without a friend. Friendship is essential to the soul. Oh, Philima Philia Sukas. That's friendship is essential to the soul. Yeah, I've been waiting on this. I'm glad Ricky Lewis asked me to come. So I go up there. President Trump did not know why I was there, but he was accommodating. I'm going to give the man this. The man was very congenial. As we said that, we talked about golf. I played golf at his golf courses a lot. I don't play well, but I play. We talked about that. He's really congenial. And we're sitting there, and he thought that since we shared a common friend, Mark Burnett produced Apprentice, and Mark Burnett produces my new show, Steve Harvey's Thunderdome, that I was there to talk about possibly doing some type of program. I said, no, sir, I'm not. So it got around to it. After 25 minutes of talking, he said, so Steve, what can I do for you? Now, I had thought of what I would say when I got up there. So I said, well, there's really nothing I want you to do for me. I said, I want to do something for you. And he said, President Trump said, you want to help me? I said, yeah. I said, if you've appointed Dr. Ben Carson, the head of HUD, and I would like to help him because I don't think he has the celebrity or the name notoriety to get to these inner cities. I've been in inner cities my whole life. I got the key to 32 cities. I've been stand up a long time. I said, I can help him with some of these urban situations because I'm from there. And I want to do something to help him. He said, so what do you want to do? I said, well, I have a mentoring program, but my mentoring program is restrictive because I can only do about 1,000 boys. And I can do them only one time a year in each city. I want to create vision centers around the country where I can take these schools that you're closing in the inner cities, take HUD funds, put it with them, and then go in and refurbish these schools and buildings and turn them into a place where boys and girls can come and learn life skills, and parents can come and learn financial skills, literacy skills to make it. And then eventually, I would like to build vision homes around it to help support these communities so we have wonderful community. I want people who are less fortunate to have a better way of life. He said, I like that. Let me get Ben Carson on the phone right now. I kid you not. In 2 minutes, he had Ben Carson on the phone. He put Ben Carson on the phone, and he and I started talking, and I introduced the concept to him of vision homes right there in the office. He said it's a done deal. I've since then, well, the problem I had was after the meeting was over, I was supposed to go downstairs by myself and go on over to the rope and address the media. President Trump said, Steve, I'm going to go down with you. All right. We get off the elevator. We walk up to the rope. All the cameras is on. And first thing he said, what we're going to do first thing in this office is replace and repeal Obamacare. I'm standing there. I went, look at the tape. Go back and look at the tape and look at Steve's face. Because I'm going, there ain't shit we said upstairs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, that's not what we said upstairs. But I was stunned, and I'm sitting here going like I'm supporting this here. I ain't said nothing like that. So then when he walked off, I was standing there with Greg Calhoun, another frat brother, and Gerald Washington, a new, oh, Crump, what's up, man? That's my man right there. You a bad boy. Man, that's my man right there. I'm sorry, I'm a fan of his. Benjamin Crump, attorney. So I'm sitting here, and I walk up to the media, and I go, I'm just messed up because, man, it just looked like, and then next thing you know, all over social media, Steve supports Trump, repeal and replace Obamacare. We ain't never even talk about Obamacare, but that's what God said. And then after that, oh, y'all, y'all did your boy. Oh, it wasn't white folk, it was y'all. Yeah, this wasn't a black, this was an internal. White folk don't even know what Uncle Tom Coon is. Y'all was doing this here. Oh, you was doing your boy. To hell with my track record. Damn what I done in the past. You ain't sugar, honey, iced tea right now. I cleaned that up, see how I did that. I didn't want to, though. I wanted to go ahead and fire another one off, but I figured I had got too many in. You ain't sugar, honey, iced tea no more. Ooh, I don't like saying that. Black people took to social media, and boy, all my family had to close their accounts down because y'all was just lacing me. Not y'all per se. Most of y'all don't even, hardly any of you blog, but I'm just talking about us. And this went because I don't know why we love destroying each other. I don't know why we take such pleasure in when he gone. You know, I was talking to Kevin Hart the other day when he went through that whole thing about the girl. Kevin Hart said, man, it's amazing how they cheer for you on the way up because they love a success story. But then once you get there, their whole mission is to bring you down. And they was just on that social media just lacing me, man. Like I don't do nothing for black folk. Like I just ain't been black this whole time. The hell you gonna call me Uncle Tom, a coon and a sellout? I'm 60 years old. You know what I done seen? I seen what everybody in this room that's 60 done seen. I done felt what everybody in this room done felt. How they gonna call you Uncle Tom and a coon because you're at the top of the corporate ladder? Now some black person ain't got nothing want to sit up and call you an Uncle Tom and a coon because you done betted yourself. Ain't that about la-di-da? You be wanting to go, man, I wish, you know, man, you be wanting to say something. But you know what though? You can't say nothing. Because my grandmama taught me something a long time ago. If you hang a sheet out on the line and you get some doo-doo on it, don't wipe it because you ain't going to do nothing but smear it. She say just wait till it dry. It'll fall right off. So when they kept on trying to, I just shut my mouth. I stayed quiet because I knew I had a purpose. Now, Brother Blue went with me to the first meeting with Dr. Ben Carson at HUD. We have started an initiative. The first one will open in Detroit because that's where Dr. Ben Carson is from. The vision centers have been okayed by the White House, all because I took a step and went up there and said it. I didn't even come up with the vision center concept till the night before. I just told God, I asked God, man, just tell me what to say when I get up there. Because what I'm supposed to say, I don't even know what to say. What do I say to Donald Trump? I told him when we were sitting there, I said, look, man, I ain't vote for you. And I say, I put my whole radio show behind trying not to get you elected. I said, but there was a mistake got made. I said, we was playing checkers and y'all was playing chess. So congratulations on your win. Oh, and then he ain't my president. Well, he the president of the United States. Well, he's not my president. He's the president of the United States. He's not my president. When you get through saying that, he the president. And if you don't sit at the table and talk, you have no say-so on what they serve on the menu. So if you don't like what you eating, it's because you ain't at the table picking and choosing. We as black people got to get at the table. This ain't the white man's game. This is the game. Money is not white man's money. It's money. You get around real rich people, they don't care what color you are. As long as you got enough to be there, trust me, you know how this works. That's racism on every level. But we black, man, we can rise above this. So when they got through eating me up, me and Blue went up there. The first one they're going to open is a vision center in Detroit. It's going to take a school that was closed, reopen it with HUD funding, going to support it with the right type of counselors and stuff, and create a place for young boys and girls to come and to learn life skills. See, what our kids don't know how to do is dream. If you destroy the dream, the Bible says a man without a dream or vision shall perish. It never mentions if you don't have an education. I mean, congratulations if you got one. It's sure helpful in a lot of things, but we got to get our kids to dream it. Then we got to educate their parents on financial literacy. We got to teach them life skills. Then I met with Robert Smith for 8 hours at his home, the third black billionaire, and he introduced a program for coding because he says in order for black people to get to the next level, we have got to learn coding. So I went to him, so he's created an entire coding program of his own money, $100 million, this man, by himself, to put coding in all the vision centers so kids can learn how to code from kindergarten in the vision centers. Do you know if you change that technical aspect of us as black people, skip buying the video game, hell, make a video game. Stop buying the ticket to fly on the plane, make a plane. We have gifted kids if we give them the opportunity. That's what the vision centers are. Blue was there, I took another frat brother, Greg Calhoun, with me. It's amazing how that works. My lawyer's is frat. I just keep finding them doggone cues. Man. And then too, to be real with you, just a loyalty factor come with bruhs sometimes. Just a loyalty factor come with Omega Psi Phi. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I got a couple noobs work for me, but it's something about them cues, man. It's a loyalty factor because we the only thing that's built on friendship. Everybody else on brotherhood. Friendship different. So you got to pick your friends. You pick a friend. I got a brother, man. My brother kind of crazy. He all right. I love him, but he was just already here when I got here. So we're doing some incredible stuff with it. I want to thank the brothers of Omega Psi Phi because they've understood the program that Brother Blue has explained to them, and we're going to do some things together. A couple of these housing developments I envision as Omega Psi Phi presents the vision home for a certain city. I would love for that city to be Atlanta, Georgia, as side chapter. That's where the headquarters is. I think it would make a great stance if we started our first one there. After we open the one in Detroit, we're going to branch out after that. So the meeting with Trump did materialize into something and is written. Now, government is slow. You know, every time they say yeah, here come another committee that's got to say yeah too. But we are very, very close. They've already started the project in Detroit. And that's what we're working towards. And I want to thank the brothers that have sat down and listened to us. And Brother Blue, who's kept us on track with it. Ricky Lewis, who I understand is running for office. And I just one of the finest brothers I ever met in Omega Psi Phi. I know nobody more committed to this frat that I know personally. It's a lot of great brothers out here, and I'm pretty sure whoever else is running, this is not a slight on anybody else that's running. Please don't take me. I ain't on the campaign trail or nothing. Just I love Ricky Lewis. That's why I'm financial, and that's who I'm gonna vote for. And so. And if he is elected, I will continue to donate very large. Ain't that some low politician right there? That's some stank politics right there. I will make sure I continue to give most generously. Let the church say amen. Amen again. I think this would be a good time if Ricky Lewis want to conduct any questions. I think they had something. I'll address a few things for you all.
Want to do it? Let's give it up for Brother Steve Harvey. So we got about 35 minutes. The first curse was at 21 minutes. I was trying to keep him track. Joe Torres said, team, you timing it? I said, yeah, I'm timing it. So we got about 35 minutes. Let's. The questions are open for the bros, guests, AKAs, deltas, whoever. It's a great opportunity for us to get any questions Steve can answer for anybody. Just raise your hand. We'll bring the mic to you. We got about 30, 35 minutes, and we're going to stop, take some pictures. We know a lot of folks want to take pictures, and then we can take it from there, okay? All right. Ask the question. Brother Grant said no long term. Brother Cunningham, you up.
Yes, Brother Harvey. Brother Harvey.
Yes, sir.
What advice would you give to a young man who wants to get into writing films and stuff? I have a son that's interested in being a film writer. What advice would you give a young man like that?
First thing, whenever somebody asks me that question about show business, I always go back to this. Make sure that your ambitions for show business is tied to your gift. Too many times people come to show business because they just like the look of it, they passionate about it, or they pursue something that they're passionate about. Please make sure before you come to this business that you are gifted at it. The Bible says your gift will make room for you and put you in the presence of great men. It does not mention your passion. You have to be gifted. Most people are not successful today because they never tie their work ethic to their gift. They keep tying it to their education and their passion. Well, what are you gifted at? I happen to be gifted at this. So if he's gifted at it, the first thing he has to do with film writing, that requires you got to go to a school that has film writing so you can get into that clique, because it's a clique. Film writing is a clique. And once they know that you're in it and they can see the talent in you, then that thing leads now. But he has to go and get into film writing. And you gotta go west. They make movies in LA. Yeah, everybody trying to make it from their house. If I'd have stayed in Cleveland, I never got here. You got to go out there. That's my suggestion. Yes. You was born in Welch. What holler? Was you in the holler? Haverco? You've been on Elk Mountain? Okay. You graduated from Welch High School. Wow, how old are you? Welch High School. They closed that school for my brother. Yes, ma'am.
But this is my question. I know, of course, you're in Atlanta. Are there any sessions or places where we can go and learn like some of the things and the techniques that you're teaching?
Well, I do an Act Like a Success seminar on actlikeasuccess.com. I got several things that I do several times a year. The big one is usually in Atlanta once a year, where I teach success. I go really into depth. It's a lot more than what we saw today, a lot more hands-on principles and stuff. So my website is actlikeasuccess.com, and I have that information. It's a lot of stuff out there where you can help. You know, look, once you learn the principles of success, you can apply it to anything. Do you know you can get rich selling tomatoes? You can get rich cutting hair. The dude that used to cut my hair, I met him in the 80s down in Texas. He used to cut my, when I walked in barbershop, I paid $10. When he stopped cutting my hair, he was making $1,500 a cut, and he cut my hair 5 times a week. Same haircut. Messed around and got clicked in out there in Hollywood, and it was $1,500 a haircut. So when he wasn't cutting my hair, sometimes he cut Bernie hair. Then he go over there and cut Sayers' hair. Then he cut DL's hair. It's $1,500 a cut. He would finish up some weeks, man, the dude make $15,000 in a week cutting hair. Once you learn the principles of success, you can apply them to anything.
Greeting, Mr. Harvey. My name is Reverend Foreman. I want to first thank you for what you do, and to say, as a minister, I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day.
I would like to apologize for my, Jesus God, I ain't know he was
Don't worry, I'm a former naval officer and I don't have virgin ears. But I'm also a native of Atlanta, so I definitely praise you for going and returning to my hometown. However, I've lived in New York for the last 22 years. And I'm a math specialist where I teach at an all-boys school in the Bronx called Mount St. Michael. Having said all that, over the years in education, they've done away with shops, wood tech, automotive, electrician. When you speak of these, your vocation, when you speak of these life skills in your vision centers, will those things be components of the education expect for the youth?
Right now, we are focusing on a lot of STEM, science. We're focusing on STEM because that's where it's going. And so many of these jobs are being taken away by automation that our focus right now is there. But I do think once you teach a young person. See, at my mentoring camp for boys, we only talk about two things, three actually. We talk about manhood, we talk about dreams, and we talk about discipline. Once you can get this in a boy, then he can take it and apply it to anything. He can become, if he wants to work with his hands as an auto mechanic. But we got to get the basics. But this vision center, because it's tied to government and HUD, you have to be a little bit more broad with them. And so STEM is a lot of what we're doing, the coding programs and things like that. I'm just being honest with you. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Big fan. Thank you for clearing up the situation with Trump. I know you also got a lot of slack with the Paula Deen situation. And do you mind clearing that up as well, or elaborating on the Paula Deen? Because a lot of people thought that she was a white supremacist or she was a racist.
You won't. Okay, pull up, Steve. the black in me was rising rather quickly. Pull yourself together. You talking about the Paula Deen when I had her on my show?
Yes, and
you know, look, it's like this. You really think Paula Deen is the first person used the N word? Look, man, here's the deal. If we had a microphone attached to everything we've said, none of us would be working today. None of y'all would have jobs. If there was a microphone attached to everything you said. I'm this way, man, like with Paula Deen. I'm in the second chance, third chance business. I can't count the chances God done gave me. If I'm gonna hold you till you use the N word to somebody 20 years ago, and now you ain't nothing the rest of your life, I ain't that person. I ain't in the judging business. She got to go to heaven. She got to deal with God with that. So when she came on the show to apologize, I let her come on the show to apologize. Now, obviously, it's still been bothering you a little bit because I have forgot all about the Paula Deen thing. But see, keep on, though, pimp. Keep on. I'll be outside right after this here. That's that hood side of me, that other dude that I be wanting to say, I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just kidding. But, yes.
I want to say to the brothers, first of all, you've always been a big brother to me. I remember the first time I called your show, young Omega man, so I represent this kid named Trayvon Martin. You got me through, and ever since then, when I called about Michael Brown, you got me through. Tiffany Crutcher, Terrence Crutcher, twin sisters here. You stopped the show. We did a 20-minute interview. And so I want to thank you to let the brothers know Omega Sci-Fi matters. And Steve Harper's a good man of Omega Sci-Fi.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
You said it so many times on the radio. We got a lot of fathers, a lot of men out here. What advice can you give these fathers, these men of Omega, about how to protect our children, whether it's Terrence Crutcher, Orlando Castile, Trayvon Martin, as you've done so often on the radio show?
Well, listen, this problem that we have in our community will not be solved by the government. It will not be fixed by the police department. It won't get fixed by martial law. It won't get fixed by nothing they talking about up in the White House right now. To fix the problem in our community, it requires us as black men to become hands-on. See, what happened to us, brothers, and let's just be honest, this baby boomer generation that we are, from 50 to 70, what we did was we were so busy benefiting from the civil rights movement, so busy taking advantage of affirmative action, so busy climbing the corporate ladder, first one in our family to go to college, first one to become a supervisor at the post office. We forgot to teach the generation behind us what real men do. And we lost them. We lost Jay-Z, Ludacris, L. We lost that whole generation because we left them to figure out manhood themselves. This is our fault. Let's just be real right here. This is our fault. We stopped teaching them to be cool. So now they ain't cool no more. Now they hard. We forgot to tell them how to dress. We used to dress for girls at school. We dressed up for women. They don't dress no more. They dress for each other. Who rolls up one pants leg and got their drawers showing and sagging and got a hat to sit down on top of their ears and wear a 6X t-shirt when they really wear a medium? What woman is attracted to that? None of them, because they don't dress for women no more. They dress for one another. We stopped requiring that they write songs that uplifted women. All of our music uplifted women. Oh, I miss you. How much I adore you. We stopped teaching our black boys how to write songs. Now we letting them. Move, bitch, get out the way, get out the way. I got different hoes in different area codes. What? We let these dudes start talking to our women this way. We did this. We let them do this. You know good and well that ain't right. We the only race of people that allow each other to talk about their women like this. Chinese people don't talk about their women in music. Jewish people don't talk about their women in music. Country people don't talk about their women in music. Black people, the only one degrade women in music. You got to be kidding me. And that's our fault. So now we got to get back and reverse it and start snatching some of these cats and go, oh man, you can't say this about our women no more. That's our job. I'm sorry. I wouldn't.
Hey family, let me say, we're gonna start back to questions. Family, let me say something. We brought Brother Harvey here just to be in the confines of the brothers and our guests. Please, nothing on social media. Please, please, that's what we're asking you. Okay, thank you. Go back, baby.
Okay. But Ricky Lewis, under his fine leadership, saw this slipping into something else. Let me get Steve now. Because see, Ricky and Blue, they know me for real. There's another side, and they try not to let that out to protect the brand. I'm a host of Little Big Shots. Yes.
But to go back to what you said earlier about you have not put your hands not. This vision center that you're doing right now, you said you want to open up one in Atlanta. We're asking for the city of Durham to put their hands on.
Okay.
You have not put your hands on, right?
That's fair. That's fair. I ain't mad at you. Yeah, way to throw it back on me. I like that. I ain't mad at you. Huh? Yeah, just have Blue. Talk to Blue. There you go. Blue is the big dog, brother, right there. This is Blue. This is Blue. Blue, the nickname Blue came for a lot to do with complexion. Blue.